Hey, today we will go into the various ways of the signal routing in Ableton Live 10. In the beginning, let's deal with the basic settings. First of all, we need to configure our system preferences. If you're on Mac, open your audio and MIDI settings. Here we're able to create a multi-output or an aggregate device. In a multi-output device, the signal will be going out simultaneously to all the devices that were chosen here. Such devices could be used in some situations, such as outputting sound directly to multiple devices or simultaneously recording and playback of incoming signal. No matter how many devices were chosen here, a multi-output will always have only 2 channels and only one output. In the aggregate device, all outputs of each device will be displayed separately. I have already configured devices that I use often. Now we're done with system preferences. If you have any questions, please write comments below. Next, let's deal with the basic settings of Ableton Live. Here we're able to choose the input and output devices, as well as configure the output paths if there are several inputs and outputs in your device. For convenience, you can give them names. For example, left and right for individual mono channels, or front and back for stereo outs. Or you can name them by the type of the output device. When we're done with the live audio settings, let's go to the master track. Here we can choose the sound output for previewing and the main output. I will use right and left separately for master outs to show the idea of track previewing. I'm sure you already know how the solo mode works, so let's switch to the queue mode. In queue mode, selected track will go out to the queue out, even if track turned off using the mixer. On every audio track, we have audio to and audio from sections. In the audio from section, we're able to choose an external input like microphones or line inputs, as well as other tracks. Don't forget to switch monitor to in mode. If we're using tracks as inputs, we have 3 options to choose. Post-mixer means that we will receive signal after volume slider and track switch. Prefix and postfix speak for themselves. So if you want to receive signal even if track turned off, select one of them. You can also send and redirect tracks to each other, or duplicate signal as many times as you want. In the auto monitoring mode, we're able to listen to signal only if record button is on. In the track settings, we also have the option to send signal to another track or even external out. Please note that if the external out is chosen, this track will not be included in the mix while rendering. Now consider additional features of signal routing. In Ableton Live there is a default device called External Audio Effect. Here we can see similar sections as in ordinary tracks, and everything is extremely simple. After this device, the previous signal isn't going further. By selecting Audio 2, we will bring all the sound before the device to the chosen output. And choosing audio from, instead of any previous signal, the signal of the selected input will go out to the track. This is very handy if you have an external processing devices, such as delays or distortions. So you can output the signal to the output of the sound card, then to your effect processor, after that back to the sound card input, and then back to this track. These devices can be combined in any form, for example in the separate effect chain. Using these devices, we will output clean sound to the MacBook speakers and processed sound to the sound card, which is connected to the monitors. Also, we will leave an empty chain that will bring audio to the master mixer. There is also Max for Live device called Surround Panner, which allows you to output sound to the several outputs at the same time and panning the signal between them. I have already talked about it in this video. There you will find more detailed description of the functions, and there is also an example of how to make an atmospheric sound. Today I just wanted to show how to output sound outside of the track using this device. For example, for a setup of 4 speakers, you can configure first 2 speakers on the front and the second 2 as back, like this. If there is also a subwoofer and it is connected individually, individual signal can be routed to it. In addition, I want to say some words about updated multiband sender. Thanks to your comments, I found issues which were fixed and also were added some new and useful. With multiband sender, it's possible to send signal outward the track by selecting a specific frequency zone. In this video I talked about how to use it. Also, recently I created a simple device for sending signal. There is one button that changes it from the receiver to router. You can place it on the several tracks, even inside a rack, and send a signal from another track or even from several tracks. So far it hasn't completed. There are some unresolved issues. As soon as it will be ready, I will definitely share it with you. There is also a rather wide topic of sound routing using Max for Live. If you are interested, please write a comment below. I prepared many more interesting things about sound analysis and automation control. Subscribe and click the alert icon so you will not miss anything interesting. That's all for now. I hope you enjoy. If you are interested in some kind of topic, be sure to write a comment. I will be glad to talk about it and make a video for you. And finally, I decided to open a Patreon page where I will share with you my ready-made devices, as well as those that are in the process, as well as music, samples and presets for Ableton Live. With the help of your support, I will be able to release videos more often. I will be glad to see you there. Thanks for your attention, be happy and stay tuned.